A former patient at Shriners Children's Hospital in Lexington is inspired to help others because of the care she's received over the years.
Yeah, our Destiny Quinn shares her story in tonight's Commonwealth of Kindness.
At 21 years old, Paralympic gold medalist Mikaela Jenkins has already accomplished a lot with her life. Her hard work and dedication have paid off in more ways than one.
I was born with a congenital condition called PFFD, which stands for proximal femoral focal deficiency, which is a long fancy term that basically means that my left femur is significantly shorter than my right femur.
At only 8 months old, Mikaela Jenkins had an amputation.
Down right at the ankle, you feel those two bones that protrude right at your ankle.
And so she wears a prosthesis that makes up for the severe shortening in her leg.
With the help of her prosthesis, nothing slows Mikaela down. She started swimming at 4 years old and has had the opportunity to swim competitively around the globe.
But I've competed in Canada, Scotland, England a couple times, Australia.
She won her first world champion medal in 2019.
And then in Tokyo in 2021, which is the Paralympic Games, I won 2 gold, one in the S1000 fly and the second one in the 4x100 medley relay.
Creating memories that will last a lifetime.
And it was super cool getting to see the Olympic and Paralympic Village and the swimming venue.
She now swims for Grove City College in Pennsylvania and is focused on her next journey.
I'm also a molecular biology major and I have a chem minor and I'm in the middle of applying to med school.
She says her care at Shriners and her parents, who are also both in the medical field, are who inspired her.
My work and my care with Shriners Hospital and having such influences on my life like Dr. Walker and just how amazing of a surgeon she is has always made me think about medicine.
The inspiration goes both ways. Dr. Walker hopes Mikaela's success story can inspire others.
Amputation as a treatment option doesn't represent failure, but can represent tremendous success.
Mikaela graduated from Shriners and had her last appointment with her care team this past summer. If you have a story of kindness you would like highlighted, email kindness@wkyt.com.